pledge allegiance to the flag by the United States. Meet your neighbors. Today's reflection.
A springtime prayer. O Divine One, we ask that you bless the animals of the earth and the new gardens and crops of our farmers this planting season, so that every seed and sapling is coated in your touch. We do ask that you give all people strength who are affected by the widespread flooding during these April rains. May there ultimately be enough growth for all people to eat and enjoy your goodness. We thank you for the loveliness that spring brings, even on cold days like today. May we be truly thankful for the abundant lunch we have enjoyed today, and continue to be grateful for the weekly fellowship of Wooster Rotary. Amen.
Thank you, Laura. Welcome, Rotarians. Welcome, guests today. The Rotary member highlight. This Rotarian has been an account executive with MCTV since 2006. She joined the Wooster Rotary Club over 13 years ago. She has been a past board member and serves on the flag maintenance team. Yay. I like that one. This Rotarian lives in Massillon with her husband, Eric. Both of her sons, Jay and Eric, currently live in Cincinnati. This former New Yorker previously lived in Syracuse and Rochester before moving to Ohio in 1993. She's passionate about physical fitness and hiking. Today's Rotary member highlight is Ann Smith. Okay, picture on the board today is exchange students in their recent trip to Washington, D.C., obviously. Speaking of the flag maintenance team, we are, I can just honestly say we're probably about 3/4 of the way through the flags. As you know, our flag program, we take down the flags every season, and over the winter time, we go over them and replace the damaged ones and put new flags on new poles. And we're just about ready to start this season. So there's going to be a maintenance. There is a maintenance session scheduled for this Wednesday at the building. If there's anyone interested in signing up or want to know where the flag maintenance building is, come up and talk to me after today's meeting. And of course, the flag computer team and marketing team and first response team are also getting geared up, and also we need some help there. So again, come up and see me afterwards, or keep checking your email for opportunities to serve on the various teams as we gear up for the next flag season. The first quarter billing email will be going out this week. So also, again, be on the lookout for your invoices for the quarter in your email. We'll probably be sending out the corporate invoices via snail mail. to try to help facilitate that process there. Anyway, if there's any questions or concerns on your building, come up and see me. With that, I will turn it over to Linda.
Thank you, President Tom. We're going to start today with updates from Isak and Hannah. I'm not sure which one wants to start. But, Donna has the microphone.
Good afternoon, everyone. Secretary, we should say regular meetings. I don't know, I couldn't take it from last week. I'm so sorry. I was traveling. I went to my East Coast trip that I didn't say last time. Thank you so much for all the support you had with me. It was amazing. My impression was I feel like I'm lost, but here. I know people from all over the world in my Germany. Switzerland, Mexico. I really love that. Thank you, friends, for letting me go. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've been so busy this week that I start doing everything out loud. And but basically, I met a lot of people. They were really amazing. I was learning so much, and yeah, basically that was it. I'm going to Holland today. So yeah, it's good to travel. You should do it. I want to go back. I can't go with you. So yeah, thank you.
Hi guys, it's been a while. Oh yeah, let me introduce myself. I'm Hannah. It's not where I wrote the last name. I'm Hannah, I'm a statesman from Uganda. I think it's been 3 weeks, 2 weeks. The first Monday, I was somewhere, I just don't remember where. The second Monday, I was back from Arizona and I was so exhausted. And then Jill texted me and she's like, I'm at the school, I'm coming to get you. Where is she? I was like, I'm so sorry. I just came back from Arizona. I'm really exhausted. Wasn't my bed. But it was a fun trip. I liked it. I loved the weather. It was warmer than here by far, like a lot. I saw the Grand Canyon that did not look real. It looked like a wallpaper. The air was fresher, the sky was bluer, like it just felt like home. I'm not saying here's not home. Much better. I also had the trip to Washington, DC. Thank you for sponsoring us a lot. We had so much fun, and I just forgot my flag, and people made me feel bad about it. But it was so enjoyable. We had tons of shopping. We took so many pictures. We visited so many places. So the White House. Yeah, I just love the time that we spent together. Though, like, we don't have much time left. We have like 2 or less months. And I'm so grateful that I was able to come here for my exchange year. I have met so many amazing people. And yeah. Yeah, that's it. Oh, yesterday. Oh yeah, yesterday. Yesterday I was able to take part in the Cleveland Honor Youth Choir that I was not telling people about. Sorry. It was so fun. I was like singing with like 180 students across Northeast Ohio from different schools. It was in the Severance Hall, and we were led by a conductor named Max Ferdinand. You guys know him? He is really critical, but we had so much fun. And I just wish I could do it again, but I can't. Supposed to feel bad. Yeah, there it is. Okay, thank you.
Donna Conley has a traveling microphone, and while she's going to the first guest, we'll have Jill Monroe introduce her guest who's at the same table.
So my guest is Kaylee Cox from United Way. Ms. Leevan?
My guest today is Aaron Cockrell. He's our new Assistant Director at Habitat for Humanity.
And then Matt, Chris Boone.
Thank you. My guest today is Dr. John Witter, who is the recently named Interim Director for Ohio State ATI.
And on the other side, Ron Armstrong.
My guest today is a senior at College of Wooster graduating, and his name's RM, and he's a computer with top.
Thank you, Donna. President-elect Alan Kiefer has an announcement from the podium, and while Alan is coming forward, just a reminder, the last great decisions is this Thursday at 7:30, geopolitics of the energy transition. Thank you.
I would like to make an appeal to any club members who've had an exchange student outbound from their family, or if you keep in touch with any inbound students that we've had come to Worcester. I'm attempting a project to get some feedback from both inbound and outbound students. So far, the response has been a little disappointing, so I would like any feedback they could provide to make this project work. So if you know anybody with an email address or any way of contacting them, I would really appreciate that. And I'm happy to answer any questions after the meeting about this. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. One thing I forgot to mention is there's a supply these sheets on everybody's table. These are for the Rotary member highlights, the section that I do at the beginning of the meetings. I'm almost to the end of my year. I'm so close to being able to finish up, so I need some help. Running out of Rotary member highlights, so if you could fill those out, turn them in, it would be appreciated. Getting dangerously close to me picking out people who I haven't turned theirs in yet and me making something up about them. So again, welcome guests, welcome Rotary members, guests. Please know that you're always welcome to any future Rotary meeting that we may have. At this time, I will turn the podium over to Jill Monroe to introduce our speakers.
Good afternoon. My pleasure to introduce our speakers, Leevan, Djrosse, and Jimena Tapia. I've had the privilege of knowing Leevan and Jimena for the last year and a half. They've both been involved in my office. Both have participated in the summer Amory program, and Leevan is currently one of my talented community engagement interns. Before they tell you more about themselves, their experiences, and their Amory project in community engagement, I wanted to provide a little more information about the program. Amory stands for the Applied Methods and Research Experience. Groups of 2 to 4 students work with a faculty or staff advisor for 7.5 weeks full-time in the summer on a project or problem. Amory started over 30 years ago by Dr. John Ramsey, a professor in the math department. John knew the importance of students being able to apply their curricular knowledge and develop solutions to real-world problems. It began with corporate clients, such as Goodyear, Progressive Insurance, Wooster Brush, and about 12 years ago, expanded to include local nonprofits, such as Goodwill, United Way, and Community Action, to name a few. Emory has several current and past clients in this room. Please raise your hand if your organization has ever been part of an Emory project. Thank you. There have been over 250 projects for more than 80 organizations. Seeing the impact of Amory not only to students, but the greater Worcester community has been one of the highlights of my position. Many Amory student associates, as we call them, have been international students who often do not have the opportunity to travel home over the summer and have strict regulations regarding work and internships. But they also recognize the importance of applying their academic knowledge to real-life issues before moving on to either grad school or finding a job after Worcester. Leevan and Jimena happen to be two of those students. So without further ado, please join me in giving a warm Rotary welcome to Leevan and Jimena.
I need us to start your meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and it reminded me of when I moved to the US for the first time in 5th grade, and it was the first thing I memorized in English. So, full circle.
Hello. Well, first we're gonna start with our introductions, then we're gonna talk about why we chose Worcester as a college we wanted to attend. Then we're gonna talk about a little bit how we adjusted to our life in Worcester. Then the challenges, how we got to call Worcester at home away from home. Then the opportunities on campus and off campus. Then we're gonna talk about our English project, and finally, what we plan to do after Worcester.
So as Jill mentioned, my name is Leevan Djrosse. I am a junior at the College of Wooster, majoring in economics, and my statistical and Sanchez. I am from Abidjan in the country of Côte d'Ivoire, located in West Africa. On campus, I am one of the few marketing and communications interns, and I also serve as one of the co-presidents of the African Student Union. So if you do hear me referring to ASU, it is. How many countries or have African countries do you think are represented at the college? Just a guess.
What?
Great guess. So we have 19 countries represented here at the college, and that's about 35% of countries in the African continent. And I think it speaks volumes just to how welcoming the city of Worcester is. And last but not least, I am one of the community engagement interns at the John Monroe.
Hello, my name is Jimena Tapia. I am majoring in economics and minoring in French at the College of Wooster. I am an international student from Leevan, and on campus, I am the economics department assistant, and I am also part of the executive board of a student organization called the this organization is basically seeks to promote the Latino culture on campus and empower leaders in higher education. I'm the treasurer for that. So when I was in high school and I was trying to pick school, there were two main factors that I was paying attention to. The first one was a small class size, because in high school, I really liked how my teachers know who I am, know what I was good at, and I knew I wanted a similar experience in college. And that's actually one of my favorite features from Worcester, because my professors, I feel that they always have my back, and they're willing to help me with classes, with my job search, and even with personal matters. And I think that's a really important feature to have in a small school. Also, I wanted to try something different from home. I mentioned I'm from Lima. The last time I checked, Lima has a population of around 12 million people. So I knew that if I went to a big city for school, I wouldn't be paying attention to my studies, and I really wanted to focus in college. So that's why I chose Worcester. However, this was a major challenge for me and adjusting to life in Worcester, and I'm going to talk about it later.
Just last week, I had the privilege of serving on the panel that the admissions office hosted, and it allowed me to reflect on why I chose Wooster. And to be completely frank, I did not want to come to Wooster. It was too small, it was too far, and Google also said that the winters are pretty brutal. And I'm here to tell you why I stayed at Wooster. And just like Jimena mentioned, the small class size, the student to teacher ratio is one of the things that, made me stay at Wooster. Just that personal connection that we build with professors. I wanted to be in an uncomfortable position, like President Alan Cole mentioned last week during the same panel. I really like putting myself in situations where I need to be challenged. Initially, I wanted to be at a big institution with about 400, 500 students. I wanted to go to business school and I wanted nothing to do with liberal arts. But it ended up being the reasons why I stayed at Wooster.
So I already mentioned that I really had to adjust to a different life phase. I felt that I was more independent. Like for example, if my friends or my family were not available to hang out with me, I would still have the opportunity to go out and have fun on my own. But here I realized that I had to rely on friends with cars or on the shuttle, at least in my first years here. And by the way, I remember that the first time I used the shuttle here, it was an interesting experience. I remember I was going with a group of friends from freshman year. We wanted to go to Walmart, and then I went into the shuttle, and then the first half of the shuttle was full of college students, and then the other half was with the rest of the people from Wooster, and it looked really separated. And I was like, it made me feel a little bit uncomfortable. So I thought maybe an alternative is to walk to restaurants downtown because I love to try new things. But I also remember that the first time I walked down Bell with one of my friends, we got cackled, and then I would see people getting barked at on Bell. And I started to associate that with a negative experience. But we're going to talk about how our mindset changed due to our concrete project. But yeah, it made me actually value more my emotional connections with my friends more because I mean, my best friends live right across the street. And that's not something I get to see back home because my friends live like 30 minutes away from my home. And this is something that I really value from Wooster. I think that my friends and emotional connections I think from people here are going to be one of my more valuable memories I get from college.
So some challenges that we face being here in Worcester is, first of all, distance. Making phone calls to family back home can be a little challenging. When I am done with classes, my parents are just about getting tired from work and getting to bed. So that's one of the big challenges that we have to adapt to as international students at the college. Transportation, as Jimena mentioned, was a big thing because a lot of my friends and international students just, typically do not have cars. So getting to places where there's just Walmart to get groceries or even at the airport can be a little challenging. So that was one of the big challenges that, kept on coming up when we hosted focus groups during our Emory project. And another challenge that I wanted to highlight was Worcester. There was a period during my high school transition from Maryland to Worcester where I decided to stop telling people where I was going to college because everyone was going to very big institutions, and anytime I mentioned the College of Worcester, it was where is Worcester again? Ohio. And I really got tired of explaining why I ended up choosing a small liberal arts education in Ohio. And later on I will touch on why I am proud to be at Worcester now.
So I already mentioned that I am part of Latinas Unidas, a student organization here on campus, and I think that's the main reason why I get to call Wooster at home, away from home, because there are most of the people that are in this student organization are my best friends, and I really like how I get to interact with them in formal settings, like roles in this organization. But I also like how I interact with them in informal settings. Like I get to see them every day, I get to have lunch with them every day. And in my first years in college, I was not putting myself out there. There are a lot of opportunities at the College of Wooster for people and international students to feel welcome, not only because of the number of student organizations that we have, but also because of the diversity of countries that are represented at the college. And that's not only positive for us international students to feel welcome, but it's also beneficial for everybody because we see these insights and we see these different ideas reflected in classes, but also in informal events that are open to the whole community.
For the opportunities portion of our presentation, I wanted to highlight the opportunities that the town of Worcester gives us, and then the opportunities that the college has given me as a person. So Worcester is pretty similar to Abidjan in a very interesting way. Back home in Africa, communities are very tight and people rely on each other. And I believe that the size of the town of Worcester creates that tiny community where people get to know each other on a personal level and are always willing to help. I have met some Worcester alums in places like Maryland, and it's always so interesting just going to Worcester Merge and seeing the pride that people have to meet people that have gone to Worcester somewhere else. Also, Worcester gives students a lot of opportunities to get involved, from volunteering to projects like the Emory summer program. And I believe that it's very important for a community like Worcester to be that bridge between the college and students and to give people just so many opportunities to get involved. And again, those extracurricular activities that, for example, sports teams take are part of our speak volume again to just that connection that is created between the town of Worcester and the College of Worcester. On a more personal level, I wanted to attach some images of the opportunities that the College of Wooster has given me. For someone that likes to do several things like me, it was just amazing to see how many things are available at the college. So the first picture is a picture of me with a camera. It's the thing I love to do besides being in the classroom and drawing graphs and doing calculations about the market. I am one of the marketing and communications intern, like I mentioned in the introduction slide. And a lot of the videos that you see on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram are done by myself and my team. And we take a lot of pride in making sure that Worcester is truly represented and it really reflects what this place is to people that are not in Worcester. Also, the second picture is from last summer, which was the Emory project that we took a part of, and it was our final presentation. And it was very heartwarming to see how involved the college was in wanting to take actions to the findings that we made during our project, which we will touch on a little later. Next, I have a picture of me during one of the banquets that ASU, the African Student Union, hosted. And being one of the co-presidents, it's always so just rewarding to see how much our friends that are not from our culture are interested in knowing what we want to do. Just last week, we were able to host our Ubuntu event, and it was just truly remarkable to see everyone present and cheering with events like dances and spoken words and singing, and just seeing the Worcester community come together to share our culture was just truly, truly remarkable. Last but not least, again, as I mentioned earlier, several things that happened to me at the college were very random. If you know where the Scott Center is on campus, our sporting facility, I was walking around there randomly and I saw a flyer for an off-campus opportunity. So immediately I called my father and I told him I want to go to London. And my parents being so supportive, they helped me throughout the process and, you know, gave me that happened. And then I got the same reaction. You're always like, what? So I wanted to let them know that it was very important for me to take part, to being part of a off-campus opportunity because I had never been to London. And since then, I've gone back to London once and met up with all my friends that I made there. And it's just, you know, it's what Worcester is. It creates opportunities, it puts people in uncomfortable positions, and it's truly why I stayed here. Initially, as I mentioned, I went to go to an institution that was pretty large, and having gone to the prestigious Queen Mary University of London, I can say with full confidence I am proud to be a Worcester. So last summer, Jimena and I worked on a project for community engagement where we were tasked with assessing community engagement between the town of Worcester, and the College of Worcester. So we hosted several focus groups and we put all of our findings together in this report.
Yeah, so as Leevan mentioned, our project was about assessing the relationship between the college and the greater Worcester community. And for this, we conducted focus groups with faculty, community leaders, and students. And their insights were really important to see what each group thought it was the most important to solve and strengthen these connections between the college and the city.
So having conducted all of those focus groups, we put up the answers together and we made this picture that you see over here. And something very interesting that we found was that when we conducted focus groups with students, faculty and staff, and community members, the same words kept on coming up over and over again. People described that relationship as communication and a collaboration. They found importance in building relationships, in the mutuality that was involved in the town of Worcester. And it was just truly interesting, actually, for both of us to realize that students and community members both think the same. Even though a general idea on campus is that, there is a divide between both, but the project was a perfect way to see that we all think the same and we identify the same issues. We love Worcester all the same, and we're all interested in seeing how Worcester can evolve. So we ended up putting all of our findings in this very interesting animation that you see over here. That's me on the right and Jimena on the left. And we have the Learning Center. And some of the challenges that were brought up in the focus groups that we conducted were transportation or just the lack of information about events that are going on. And we wanted to put everything together that were said during our focus group with community members, faculty and staff and students into an image.
And I think we mentioned a lot of challenges that as international students, we found at these years right here in Worcester. But I think that what really changed our mindset was this Embrace project because it was really rewarding to hear directly from community leaders how they wanted students to come to participate and to be involved in the community. And it's as international students, it makes us feel welcome. And I think all students in the college can, if they actually get to speak or to get involved in the community, they can see that there's no need to be this disconnect between the college and the community. And this project made me feel more interested in getting involved in the community. And this summer, I'm hoping to work with in that way as an intern to help collect information to research about the needs for Spanish speakers in the community. And I'm really excited because this project helped us to learn about other ways that we can get involved in the community and how it is important to maintain this engagement and connection between the college and the community. So we are juniors. Next year we're gonna graduate. I am an economics major. I am not sure what I want to do college. I am sure though that I want to get some field experience first, at least for maybe 2 years, and then. But those are my plans until then. And I'm willing to get the most experience from the college and the community to be ready to get into the job.
And as Jimena mentioned, as juniors and seniors, or I'm sure you can testify to that. This is a very repeating question that we get. What are your plans after Worcester? What is life after Worcester going to be? Personally, I hope to get a job after Worcester, and I truly believe that things like the independent study that we do at the college and just all the experiences that we get and the opportunities that we're given, we are equipped with all the tools to be out there in the world. And I hope to get some work experience and use what I've learned here at Worcester to give back to my community back home, and vice versa. I hope to go and come back. Just last week again, it was a very busy week for ASU, but we hosted our alumni panel, and I had friends that mentored me during my freshman year comeback, and they were able to tell us how their experience has been, post Worcester, and how Worcester has truly helped them to impose and to be imposing in whatever jobs that they're doing outside of Worcester. And I want to give the example of Courage, for example, that's always saying that she will always give back to Worcester because Worcester has given so much to her. And just being able to grow as a person and academically has been truly remarkable. And for the summer, I hope to get an internship, which I'm still looking for. So if you yourself or anyone that could help me, that would be very much appreciated. But I'm just very positive that Worcester has given us all the tools that we need to be out there. And we would like to invite you to ask any questions. Thank you very much.
Part of one of your focus groups for the Amory project, and just wondering now that you've identified some of the issues are in with regard to the community college relationships, what happens from here? Is there kind of a phase 2 where some of those issues are addressed, or is that being passed on to a different group to take it there?
So thank you for your question, and seeing how important the project that we were part of over the summer was, it was, something that I really wanted to continue post Emory. So Jill hired me as a community engagement intern, and since then, one of the issues that was brought up in the focus group was the lack of information. So we created a new Instagram, and which we're trying to keep on evolving, and we've made several videos and several posts, and we are glad to say that we made over 1,000 views in one of our videos. And I think just to answer your question, for example, just making content that appeals both to student and community members was one of the ways that we could take immediate action to those problems that were raised during our focus
groups. Yes, so, hello, well, you guys have your whole lives ahead of you. I was just curious, are you thinking of going back to the country you came from, what you've learned here, or looking for the US, or I'm just curious what your thoughts were on that?
Well, I thought that I wanted to, at least in my first years of college, I thought I wanted to stay and go to business school. But now, because I have a minor in French, I really want to take advantage of the 3 languages that I speak. So I'm open to go basically anywhere. Well, I really want to work in an organization that allows me to apply my quantitative skills as an econ major, but also that has like a bigger purpose with those numbers. Like, I don't really want to work with numbers just for the profit of the firm. I really want to have a bigger impact on what I do. But yeah, I want to take advantage of this.
Just like Jimena mentioned, being a native French speaker and now having learned English, and I've had the opportunity to travel around the world. The first time I moved countries to settle in a different place, I was 10, and I hated my French word at the time. But now it's something that I look forward to constantly every year, just discovering a new country. So post Worcester, I hope to work in the US for a little longer to just get some work experience, and I just hope to travel to, whether it's a new country or somewhere I've been. And several years down the line, when I have kids and stuff, maybe move back home and take everything I've learned throughout my experiences around the world back home. Thank you. Thank you so much.
We should have him speak to us in appreciation, give our rendition of the Rotary wheel, or we test on the back.
So much.
Those were created by the Students at the Village Network.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Okay, next week, Lynn Mumon from Lynn Mumon will be hosting Mark Yoder from the Viola Startsman Clinic. And with that, we stand adjourned. Thank you.